Have you ever heard a story about someone who said they were about to die, only for their death to occur just a few days later? These moments send a shiver down our spines, making us wonder, can people really sense their own death approaching? This isn't just folklore or baseless rumors. From royalty and famous artists to ordinary people, countless cases have been told. And what's strange is that sometimes these premonitions match reality in a haunting way. One of the most famous stories is tied to Buddy Holly, the rock and roll star from the 1950s. Before the tragedy occurred, Holly was reportedly warned by music producer Joe Meek with a terrifying prophecy. Stay away from planes on February 3rd because it would be his fateful day. A year later, on February 3rd, 1959, the plane carrying Buddy Holly crashed in a frozen Iowa field, taking his life along with several other young artists. That day would forever be known as the day the music died. The old warning, once dismissed as superstition, became a chilling prophecy. This phenomenon isn't limited to music, it has also appeared in royal circles. Princess Diana, the immortal icon of Britain, once confided in loved ones and even wrote a letter saying she felt she would be murdered in a car accident. At the time, few people believed her premonition, yet a short time later, the world was shaken by the news of Princess Diana's death in a mysterious car crash in Paris. The story only strengthened the belief that a deep-seated intuition in some people can sense when death is drawing near. Such cases are not rare in everyday life. Some people, a few days before they pass away, suddenly become unusually quiet, whispering to their loved ones that they don't have much time left. Others suddenly give away their belongings and put everything in order, as if they know for certain they are about to leave. And then, just as they sensed, death arrives. Because of these mysterious stories, many people believe that humans truly possess a sixth sense, a hidden ability to perceive when life is about to end. In many cultures and religions, this belief has existed for thousands of years. It's said that every person has a layer of energy aura, and when death approaches, this aura changes, emitting strange signals that the person themselves or other highly sensitive individuals can feel. Some even argue that the soul, before leaving the body, sends out final waves, causing people to have prophetic dreams or unusual feelings. But what does science have to say about these seemingly supernatural phenomena? Researchers suggest there are more natural and logical explanations than we might think. As a person nears death, especially from illness or old age, a host of biological changes occur. Hormones become imbalanced, neural functions weaken, and the heart and brain no longer work steadily. These physiological changes could create feelings of unease, anxiety, and unexplained fatigue. Many people describe this state as a strange premonition, but in reality, it might just be a biological signal indicating that the body is at its final threshold. Other studies hypothesize that as a person's cells begin to degenerate and die, they might release tiny electrical impulses. If the brain can detect these abnormal signals, it could create an eerie sensation, as if death is approaching. This is still a debated theory, but at the very least, it opens up a scientific approach to this mysterious phenomenon. In medicine, the concept of near-death experiences also helps shed light on the issue. Many people who have been revived after their heart stopped have recounted special memories, the feeling of leaving their body, seeing a light, or their entire life flashing before their eyes. Neurologists explain that in a moment of life or death, the brain might release intense electrical surges that alter a person's consciousness. If near-death experiences are a result of neurological activity, then perhaps the so-called premonition of death is also just a natural brain response as the body slowly comes to an end. Still, there's one obstacle. Why do some cases seem so frighteningly accurate, like the stories of Buddy Holly or Princess Diana? Here, science reminds us of a phenomenon called selective bias. Among millions of people, There will be countless false premonitions and meaningless predictions. But humans have a tendency to remember and recount only the cases that came true, especially when they are tied to a famous death. The more the coincidence, the more we are inclined to believe it was destiny rather than just happenstance. That doesn't mean these premonitions are without value. On the contrary, they reflect something very human, our fear and curiosity about death. We always want to find meaning in tragic events and to believe that there's a warning sign rather than death arriving unexpectedly and meaninglessly. It is this very psychology that has made the premonition of death phenomenon a part of human culture, coexisting with science. Today, with the development of medicine and technology, humanity understands much more about the dying process and death itself. But the question, can people sense death approaching, still has no definitive answer. Maybe it's just biological changes in the body. Maybe it's a product of imagination, fear, and obsession. But it's also possible that somewhere within us there exists a sense that science has yet to touch. Death is something no one can avoid, but its very mystery makes us perpetually curious and afraid. Who knows, maybe one day science will solve this secret, giving us a clearer understanding of the final journey of life. For now, premonitions, whether real or not, remind us of a simple truth. Life is incredibly fragile, and every day we are given is a gift.